Today, I'm your host, Mammoth, and this is the other host, King Vontae. Today, we will be talking about food, ideas, and things of the general life. My first topic is Plato's theory of explanation.
Can you elaborate?
It's, it's basically the theory that explanation posits the true understanding comes from grasping the perfect, unchanging forms which exist in a separate realm. The physical objects in our world are merely imperfect copies of those forms, meaning that explanations of physical phenomena can only be very similar, likely to be true, as they are based on our perception on these imperfect copies. Essentially, the best explanations are those that best reflect the underlying forms through reasoning and dialectic. Key points of Plato's theory of explanation: the forms are perfect, eternal, and unchanging concepts like beauty, justice, or triangle that exist independently from the physical world. The cave analogy. Plato often used the analogy of a cave to illustrate his theory, where people chained in a cave only see the shells cast on the wall, representing our perception of the physical world, while the true reality, the forms, lies outside the cave. The method of reaching true knowledge about the forms is through philosophical dialogue and reasoning, known as dialect. Because physical objects are just imperfect copies of forms, explanations based solely on the physical world can only be very similar, likely to be true, and not absolute truth. Introspection. Introspection is the act of thinking, of, is the act of examining your own mental and emotional processes. It can be extremely valuable because you want to know how to properly solve a conflict well, and you do not want to get in more trouble with the others. Not to mention that
Yeah, mental health and emotional well-being is very, very important, especially like in modern day, with COVID, everybody stuck in their house. Um, no matter how powerful you are, you don't have 150% control over life. So that's why you gotta, if you believe in God, go to Him. And I know everybody isn't religious, so whatever you believe in, uh, go to utilize that to help you get through everyday life.
you've been deep reasoning. My next topic is solipsism. Solipsism is the act of thinking that you are the only true one in the world. Everyone else is just either a copy or a manifestation of your own imagination. Basically, it's kind of like self-centerism, but it's different because they think that you are the only one to be existing, while the while the mind is also the sole one existing. Theodicy is the act of of explaining how God's goodness and justice can be maintained in the face of evil in the world. The term comes from the Greek words telos, God, and dike, justice. Theodicy is the response to a problem of evil, which is the question of why a good, all-knowing, and all-powerful God would allow evil to exist. Theodicy attempts to provide reasons for why God would permit suffering, loss, harm, and premature death. Some examples of theodicies include Leibniz's theodicy, the first modern attempt to explain evil using the principle of sufficient reason. Saint Augustine's approach, one of the two main approaches to theodicy in Christian theology. Sir Irenaeus' approach, one of the two main approaches to theodicy in Christian theology. Theodicies can be categorized into three basic approaches: logical, deductive, ev- evidential, inductive, and existential. Moral relativism. Moral relativism is the act of rejecting all notions of good or bad people. Instead, they strictly rely on the humanity nature, understand that there are no such thing as a good or bad person, because it can undermine the complexity of the mind. Not to mention that they have to deal, not to mention that many animals would do things that humans deem immoral.
What would those things be?
Eating your own young, for hamsters eat their own young, because it'll be hamsters eat their own young. And then there are ill activists who say that meat shall not be eaten, despite the fact that other animals eat meat for survival, like cats and dogs.
Even us as humans, we eat animals. We eat chicken, steak, lamb, things of that nature.
On rare occasions, there are few animals that eat cats and dogs.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just like the wild.
For me, the main rule is that you should not overfarm animals or hunt them to extinction, because by making them extinct, you will not have the food supply anymore. That food supply anymore. Determinism of fate. The determinism of fate is when you think that your own destiny is already written for you and that you can do nothing to change it. In sacrificial ceremonies, many are forced to follow such ideologies that the god demands a sacrifice.
As long as you have breath and it are able to move, um, God can put you in a position that you never in a positive position that you never thought you would be
Yeah. That is
in. And
an
that's
interesting point.
yeah.
I would also like to point out also referring to the Aztec sacrificial ceremonies. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Originally written in French as Je pense, donc je suis, into a discourse of the method. Descartes believed that the phrase was the result of his search for a statement that could not be doubted. He reasoned that he could not doubt his own existence, because he was the one doing the doubting. Descartes believed that the phrase was a self-evident truth, and that the first thing anyone would come to know when philosophizing in an orderly way. Descartes is also known for developing Cartesian dualism, the idea that the mind and body are two separate substances that interact with each other. He also made significant contributions to mathematics, bridging the gap between algebra and geometry to create the Cartesian coordinate system. God is dead is my next topic. It is from Friedrich Nietzsche that refers to the decline of religious beliefs and the loss of traditional moral authority. Nietzsche used the phrase to convey that the belief in God has become unbelievable and that everything built on that faith is bound to collapse. He believed that the Enlightenment has transformed collective human knowledge to the point that where many would question their beliefs. Nietzsche was not celebrating the death of God, but rather warning the potential consequences of a society without a firm moral foundation. He feared that the loss of traditional religious values could lead to nihilism, a state where life is perceived as devoid of intrinsic meaning or value. Opportunity. Nietzsche also saw the challenge of religion's decreasing value as an opportunity for individuals to create their own values. He encouraged people to act as independent individuals, find their own values, and strive for personal growth. Death of God theology. The concept of death of God rose to prominence in the late 1950s and 1960s. The movement is sometimes referred to as thanatology, which comes from the Greek words theos, God, and thanatos, death. Existential crisis. It is, it is a period of inner conflict that involves questions like meaning and personal identity. It can be triggered by transitional periods and is often accompanied by fear and stress. Existential dread is the feeling of fear and uncertainty that can arise during an existential crisis.
Next topic.
My next topic is money saving hacks. You can create a budget to track your expenses. Make a detailed outline of the way you spend to track your spending and make sure that you not spend more than you need.
You didn't have a set budget for
Spending.
like I guess whether you want to have a budget for each week or for every 2 weeks or each month, have a set budget. And like, okay, I'm not spending more than this amount.
Mhm. Automate your savings. You won't miss the money if you never see it. Setting up an automatic payment so a proportion of your weekly pay goes directly to your bank towards your savings account. Name your savings account. You will be less likely to rig your savings account if it's named Bahamas Vacation December 2008 than account number. Paying off debt. Nothing keeps you from saving like our money. Debt, especially high debt interest of credit cards, can drag on your financial ways. Home improvement ideas. What it could,
Can I piggyback on something that you were saying earlier? Uh, kind of what I was saying. You can like as long as you still breathing, you can change the trajectory of life. Um, Me, I always like media. Like what made me really want to get into media was just like the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl in 2012. You know, being from the city I'm from, Baltimore, don't really see people unite like that, and everybody united that year when we won. Um, and I really just saw the sports side of media back then. As you see, I got the sportscaster shirt on. I had the number one show there. I did play by play, things of that nature. But um, late, late 2023, early 2024, I really looked at things beyond just the sports side. I didn't have a sports person at the one of the interns left, and my co-host wanted to do something different. So I eventually put it together. SME, sports, music, entertainment, as I believe those are probably the three uh, most things that most viewed things in the media industry in the world, and put this internet radio station together. Action, influence, radio network. In the first three, uh, it, if you do the initials, it's air. And the whole thing about the SME was, even though the show is called SME, it's not just about me. Like, because when you look at even the guys that's on the top now, they didn't win by themselves. You had Stephen A. Smith, he did radio when he was in like his 30s, and then got on the ESPN. But it was him and Skip Bayless first take, and that's how it became number one. You had Max, and now you have him with Shannon Sharp and the whole crew, and he's been number one, has been number one sports show over the past 12 years, and he's gonna have that for however long he wants, until I get up in there. But I can succeed in any form of media, even if it's not sports. That's the main thing I love. And you see, like, for the as for me, I like sports is my favorite. I probably music's probably my second favorite, and entertainment is my third favorite. So put my three favorites together and made a show out of that.
Yeah.
G, continue.
I know what. I know. I'm going to see home improvement ideas. Home improvement ideas include adding paint. You need to add paint because you can help yourself, and not only yourself, but it can also help you developing children, develop their mind so that they can know how to think for themselves. Bathroom remodels. If you want to fix your home, you need to remodel it from time to time. This is because, hang on, let me take a look. This is because you can fix any cracks within the bathroom remodeling. And it can be really helpful for you and your family because you don't have to deal with the risk of dealing with moldy cracks or pests getting in anymore. You also have to organize your furniture because organizing furniture can allow for many things to happen. Actually, not really many things, just the fact you want on it. But I still recommend organizing your house so that it will be more comfortable for you and yourself. After all, you will not want to walk into something dangerous after all. My next topic is best app for productivity. There are many many productive apps online, but I'll just name a few. Some of the top productivity apps include Todoist for simple task managing, Google Calendar for seamless calendar integration, Calendly for meeting scheduling, Evernote for note-taking, Asana for project management, Trello for visual project organization, Notion for a combined workspace space with note-taking and project management features, Rescue Time for time tracking, and Harvest for time tracking and invoicing for freelancers and businesses. Key points about these apps. Do it. Considered one of the best for balancing powerful features with a simple interface, allowing for easy task organization and prioritization. Google Calendar, highly accessible due to its integration with other Google services and widespread use. Okay, I got my next topic, parenting tips and tricks. Parenting tips and tricks. Set clear expectations. Explain problems, express your feelings, and invite your child to help find a solution. Be a role model. Children learn by watching their parents, so model good behavior. Give positive attention. Praise your child and be specific about what they did to deserve it. Avoid negative reactions. Stay calm and don't feed into emotional outbursts. Give physical attention. Children like hugs, cuddles, and holding hands. Provide activities. Boredom can lead to misbehavior, so offer a variety of activities. Be open to negotiation. Kids are more motivated to carry out decisions they participate in. Have realistic expectations. All children misbehave sometimes. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to take care of yourself as well as your kids. Use pride skills. When you notice good behaviors, praise them to help them grow. Automate routine tasks. Use software to set routines to save time and energy. Give up power. Try to get your child to think it's their idea to do what you want them to do. Avoid spanking. There are other ways to discipline a child, like timeouts. Okay, my next topic is dealing with stress and anxiety. There are many ways to deal with stress and anxiety, including exercise. Physical activity can improve your mood, energy, and focus. The Department of Health and Human Services recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise activity per week. Sleep. Getting enough sleep is important for dealing with stress. Sleep problems can make stress symptoms worse. Eat healthy. Eating healthy foods can improve your mood, balance hormones, and boost energy levels. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present movement. You can try guided meditation, reduced imagery, or visualization. Reduce caffeine. Consuming too much caffeine can worsen anxiety. and harm your sleep. Identify triggers. Try to identify what causes or triggers your stress. Practice relaxation techniques. Try relaxation exercise like deep visualization. Connect with others. Reach out to friends and family for support and ease those risks. Oh, that's distraction. Laugh. Laughter can lighten your mental load and fire up a cool down your stress response. Cuddle with a pet. Pets can boost self-esteem and ease social rejection. Use the 3-3-3 rule. When overwhelmed, look around to identify three objects and three sounds, then move three body parts. My next topic is time management strategies. The Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro, a system that involves working in 25-minute sessions with a 5-minute break in between. This technique helps you maintain focus and productivity by breaking your day into manageable time intervals. Time blocking. Divide your day into blocks, with each block dedicated to a specific task or group of tasks. This helps you maintain focus on schedule. Eisenhower matrix, a tool that helps you prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance. Delegate it. Identify tasks that can be handled by someone else and delegate them. This allows you to focus on your most important responsibilities. Limit distractions. Distractions can be like junk food to high priority tasks. Pareto principle, a popular rule that says 80% of your efforts come from 20% of your efforts. Avoid multitasking. Switching between tasks can actually make them take longer, slowing down your pace. Other time management strategies include making a plan, creating a priority list, breaking early, breaking down small tasks into small chunks, setting smart goals, setting up deadlines, being mindful of when you're going off track, learn to set boundaries and say no, dealing with stress wisely, and taking time off. And taking time off. Essential life skills everyone should have. They should be really obvious. Essential life skills that everyone should learn include communication, critical thinking, problem-solving, time management, financial literacy, emotional intelligence, basic cooking skills, self-care, basic home maintenance, decision-making, and adaptability. These skills help navigate life's challenges and achieve goals across various aspects of life. Key points about each skill. Communication. Effectively expressing oneself, actively listening to others, and understanding nonverbal cues. Critical thinking. Analyzing information objectively, evaluating evidence, and forming logical conclusions. Problem solving. Identifying issues, brainstorm solutions, and choose the most effective approach. Time management. Prioritizing tasks, managing schedules, and efficiently utilizing time. Financial literacy. understanding budgeting, saving, investing, and managing debt. Emotional intelligence, recognizing and managing one's own emotions, as well as understanding the emotions of others. Basic cooking skills, preparing simple, healthy foods, and understanding food safety. Self-care, prioritizing physical and mental health through activities like exercise, relaxation, and healthy eating. Basic home maintenance, performing minor repairs and upkeep around the house. Decision making, weighing options, considering consequences, and making informed choices. Adaptability, adjusting to changed circumstances, and being open to new experiences. Hang on, let me remove all the old stuff first. If you lived in a fictional world, which would be? Honestly, I have no idea. Well, I would live in a science fiction world in which everyone is immortal. And I would live in a world where everyone has the strength of God, and everyone can have super strength, regardless of the amount of muscle they have. The muscle does go for a huge role. Not to mention that communism no longer exists in the world, but specifically the dictatorship seems vacation itinerary. A dream vacation itinerary itinerary could include a trip to the stunning Amalfi Coast in Italy, with a mix of relaxing beach days, exploring charming towns like Positano and Amalfi, indulging in delicious local cuisine, and taking a scenic boat ride through hidden coves, potentially including visits to historical sites like Pompeii and a cooking class to learn traditional pasta making. Possible itinerary breakdown: Day 1 to 3: Arrival in Naples and Amalfi Coast exploration. Day 1: Arrive in Naples, transfer to Positano, settle in, explore the town's colorful streets, and enjoy sunset views from the main beach. Day, Day 2: Road trip along the Amal- Amalfi Coast, stopping at secluded beaches and picturesque towns Amalfi, like the Amalfi and Ravello. Visit the Villa Tiburone Gardens in Ravello for panoramic views. A daily trip to Pompeii, exploring the ancient Roman ruins, followed by a leisurely lunch at a local trattoria. Day 4 to 6: Relaxing on the coast and culinary experiences. Day 4: Relaxing beaches in Positano. Optional water activities like kayaking or paddleboarding. Day 5: Cooking class in a local home. Learn to make traditional pasta dishes like spaghetti and gnocchi. Day 6: Visit a local vineyard wine for a wine tasting tour. enjoy sunset picnic with local cheeses and cured meats. Day 7. Morning stroll through Naples Historic Center, exploring the vibrant and trying street food before heading to the airport. Key elements to consider when planning your dream vacation. Destination. Okay, I already spent a lot of time on this. I'll keep going now. Your idea superhero power. Immunity to immunity to heat, immunity to ice, and 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 have the ability to read minds, along with having strength that is 1 billion times greater than a regular human to defy all odds. In fact, having infinite strength to defeat anyone in my way, and being invincible and being able to resurrect. Number 34. A new invention idea. Hmm. Oh, excuse me. Maybe not a new idea per se, but spying cameras. They could track criminals and their movements, and they had to be invincible too in order to make the spying operations work better and more secure. They shall be top secret because we must not allow our technology to be in the hands of others. I knew a plot of a book you write. That is pretty interesting. I write a plot about a person who thinks that they are in the right, when in reality they are causing the one causing you trouble. In fact, narcissism is a huge issue, and I'm curious to find out how many people would react to such a story like that. Imagine a conversation with a historical figure. I speak to Mao Zedong about what he did, about why he conquered nature. Also, Mao Zedong, what, might I inform you that without nature, there would be a lot of erosion and many would die. And you do realize that because of your way to conquer nature, you've killed millions and millions of people along with the 40,000. You do realize that you would not have existed without nature, right, Mao? Also, also, I hope you learned a valuable lesson because you cannot restore the lives of the Chinese citizens that you took. And met, and you do realize that the Chinese Communist Party must fail in order to allow progress. Design your perfect home as my next topic. A perfect home that I would want is one that involves no silly areas, well, anything unnecessary silly. Nothing that can that mold can grow on, and last but not least, anything that is not, and I mean not self-sufficient. Number anything that's totally self-sufficient so that I can live in peace. A creative project I've been working on. Uh, yeah. I don't really have a creative project. I'm just trying to practice my own skills and make sure that I reach many people as possible so that I can make sure so that I can make sure everyone can understand well. I've also been learning Korean and reading the Spanish Bible. I just want in the plan I'm making a more complex language learning app to allow others to understand. Number 39. Imagine a day in the life of a celebrity. Honestly, it would be pretty hard to imagine that. I mean, like, I guess I could imagine myself in the Rock's way of life, but he's been doing some weird habits. For example, he recently peed in his own bottle of water, which, well, I understand, he is rather crude. And if he can, I would prefer if he used the bathroom instead. I also think that The Rock often tries too hard to make a lot of money, instead of actually being genuine about himself and helping others. Of course, Rock is also very repetitive in his roles, as he often plays a tough boss guy with little to no variation whatsoever. Number 40. Crafting my own fairy tale. Uh, my my fairy tale would be about narcissism. For example, there is a once upon a time there was a famous female Instagram celebrity, and she constantly sexually harasses other people by showing them her butt and placing her butt near them, claiming to have a sense of humor despite her actions being sexual harassment. It wasn't until much later that the authorities found out what she was doing and decided to arrest her for public indecency and sexual harassment. She claimed that she was an oppressed female, but many disagreed, with even some females disagreeing with her methods and calling her actions disgusting and crude at best. The social media influencer then apologized and decided to reform her channel to actually help the oppressed women, such as those in Islamic world, those in patriarchal world, and those who are forced to get female genital mutilation later on. Per- Hang on, let me. Personal and reflective. Life lessons learned from a failure. I learned educate that stereotype testing is not an always ideal. Stereotype testing can be flawed because it doesn't always show the ethics or the other information that is taught. In fact, many others have criticized stereotype testing for being too biased, and it, stereotype testing is also known for hiding problems that students did not know prior. I learned that the problem is the education system itself. It is not solely my fault. The most important qualities in a friend. The friend needs to have emotional and physical boundaries. along with the fact that they need to be willing to understand me fully if they truly want to be a friend. They should also get to know each other so that they will know how to properly react to me later on. Look at you, Tony Cho. I also think that a friend should be willing to understand that it's more to be really good or bad because humanity is a lot of complex goals and aspirations for the next year. For this year, I'm just gonna I hope to become fluent in Korean. Then I can go on to learn other languages like Japanese, Chinese, Sanskrit, Arabic, and Hungarian. I would also like to gain more muscle so that I can defend myself from evildoers. It is necessary for you to do so because you will never know what will go on later on in your life. Overcoming obstacles and challenges my obstacle that I overcame is the fact that I was not able to do many push-ups before. Now I can do a lot of push-ups so I can improve my strength and become even more bigger than the rock. Well, I'm not as tall as the rock, but still. I would also like to become extra big so I can defend myself from evildoers. Personal growth and self-improvement. First off, one, I grew out my hair so that I would not have to cut it that often again. I also, I also, I also made sure to learn. I also made sure to learn about how. I also made sure to learn about how. I also made sure to learn about the feelings of other people and put a high effort to understand them. They must also let me happy and fulfilled. Uh, I'm sharing another time. I'm already done. So